Mute your phone.
You're listening to Good Morning Gwinnett, a division of Noise Media Network, hosted by Audrey Bell Kearney, sharing stories about people and places around beautiful Gwinnett County and beyond. Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Southern living at its best.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, all my Gwinnetians out there in Gwinnett land and all of you around the world listening to the sound of my voice. It is truly a beautiful day here in Gwinnett County. 80 degrees going up to 88, so it's going to be good and hot. And I got to go out today because the 4th of July weekend is coming. I got to go to the store and buy some stuff. Not looking really forward to that because y'all know I don't really like food. I don't really like food shopping, but I got to go out. Plus, I got some stuff I got to get. I got something funny I got to share with y'all, but I can't share it now. I can't share it till I'm ready, but it's really cool. If anybody knows me, I'm just an idea person, and I got to tell y'all something. My guest today has helped me just embrace who I really am. And I love what I do. I love podcasting, but I have these other great ideas that go along with my podcast. And I had a session with her earlier this week. He was on the show last week, and she was great. And she's on the show again today because she's going to talk to us about energy healing. But I had a personal session with her. And when I tell you I had a major breakthrough, and I feel so free because I feel like I don't have to hide who I really am. I can do what I really want to do. Now, I've known these things, but I think until she said to me, if you were not, I forgot what she said, if you were not something, you would be doing those things. And I had to sleep on that for a minute because I was like, nah, I'm not. I forgot what it was. But what I realized is that I truly suppress a lot of who I am because of the outside world and outside people and things like that. And I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I am who I am. And I love doing this show. So you're going to find out a lot more about who I am because I'm not suppressing her anymore. She's coming out. She's going to do her thing. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We'll talk about that on another show because I got my guest on today, Miss LaShawn McCrary. She's coming on in a few minutes after I get these horoscopes out to you guys because last week was phenomenal. So if you missed last Thursday, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com. Listen to last week, and then if you listen to last week, you're gonna miss this week, so you have to go back and listen to this week's. Okay, all right. So this is National Hot Dog Month, y'all. Like the whole month is hot dogs. So the 4th of July is Saturday, and so it's gonna be plenty of hot dogs that's gonna be cooked on Saturday. All right, so let's go ahead, jump into the horoscope brought to you by noted astrologer Michael Thyssen for today, July the 2nd, and we're gonna kick it off like we always do, and that is with Aries. It's hard to stay mad if the object of your anger refuses to react. Ain't that the truth? You can make or break your personal relationship today. You will be highly sensitive to comments made by your lover. All right, so I'm married to Aries, so I got to be very careful what I say because I don't want him to be sensitive. And so if you married to an Aries or in a relationship, be careful what you say because they're going to be a little sensitive today. Chances are, no matter what I'm saying, if he's going to be sensitive today, he's going to be sensitive today. So I could probably say, hey, listen, put your shoes in the closet. That's probably going to be an issue. All right, whatever. Anyway, Taurus, you haven't been totally honest with yourself, and it's time to review your motives. Don't overlook the fact that someone you care about may be hiding something. Yes, they're hiding something from you, Taurus. Invite friends for a visit. It's a holiday. Invite some friends over. Cook on the grill. Let me tell y'all what I love on the grill. I love sweet potatoes on the grill. Oh my God, like I do. I love them. So I can't wait to have that. Gemini, it's time to reevaluate your own motives and make changes to yourself first. Don't volunteer private information about yourself unless you're prepared to be talked about behind your back. Try to visit a country that excites you. Here's the thing. Keep your business to yourself. If you don't want people talking about you behind your back, they're going to do it anyway. But don't let them talk about your personal business. Let them just make up stuff like they normally do and talk about you. Keep your personal business to yourself. I'm just saying. Cancer. Efforts made to improve yourself will turn out to your satisfaction. Your irritability may drive your loved ones crazy. Oh, Lord. I got one of them too, y'all. Take the day to relax and pamper yourself. Listen, don't drive your folks crazy today, Cancer. Just go pamper yourself. Relax, pamper yourself. Get your nails done. Your hair done. Feel good. Don't drive everybody crazy at the house. Just don't do it. Leo, do a little extra work at home. You need to do your own thing and work on making yourself the best you can be. Okay, so there's a common theme here today, y'all. It's all about self-improvement. I see. I keep reading the same thing over. Making yourself the best you can be. Get the red tape and the unwanted paperwork out the way. Yeah, take care of yourself. Do your own thing. Work on making your own self the best you can be. That's all you can do. That's what I'm doing. I told y'all yesterday I'm working on me. Yes. Virgo, you'll be surprised how much you can accomplish. Don't be too quick to spend money. There's a lot to be done, and if you meet your deadline, you'll be in your boss's good book. Okay, listen here. Don't be too quick to spend money today, Virgo. Hold on to the coins. Hold the purse. Hold on. You never know. There may be an emergency. The stars are telling you not to spend too much today. All right, listen, I'm going to a song. I'll be right back after the song to give you more of the horoscopes brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thies. And listen to the Good Morning Gwinnett Show.
I wanna get you all alone now and go hide away from the lights, but I don't dare to. I'm too fragile, and for that I do apologize. Maybe someday we can work it out, but I'm afraid it's too late to try. Baby, I don't dare to love you, and you know the reason why. Don't you know I'm way too weak to swim? Can't you feel the waves come crashing in? Running out of safety nets, 'cause every night I fall down in the middle of the night screaming, oh my God, 'cause your love's too deep. You know your love's too deep. I reach out in the middle of the night screaming, oh my, 'cause your love's too deep. You know your love's too deep. I think I'm love drunk and it feels wrong, but I'm not afraid to admit I used to feel safe next to you, babe. No, I'm thinking I deserve a hit. Maybe someday we could work it out, but I'm afraid it's too late to try. Baby, I don't dare to love you, and you know the reason why. Don't you know I'm way too weak to swim? Can't you feel the waves come crashing in? Running out of safety nets, 'cause every night I fall down in the middle of the night screaming, oh my God, 'cause your love's too deep. You know your love's too deep. I reach out in the middle of the night screaming, oh my, 'cause your love's too deep. You know your love's too deep.
Welcome back, y'all. It's your girl, Audrey Bell Kearney, giving you the daily horoscopes brought to you by noted astrologer Micah Thies. We're going to pick it up with Libra. Don't let anyone slip through your fingers today. You will not be able to contain your emotions. Trouble could be brewing at home. Listen, you could have some issues today, baby. You can have some issues today. So listen, don't let money slip through your fingers. Hold it tight, not too tight, because when you ball your fist up too tight, nothing gets out, but nothing gets in either. Neither one. Okay, so Scorpio, include the whole family or those you love. Yeah, don't leave anybody out today, Scorpio. Don't rely on others to handle your workload. You can expect your mate to get fed up and make the choices for you or back off completely. Include the whole family. You about to piss off a bunch of folks today. Your mate is about to be fed up. Yeah. Sagittarius, you have major blow-ups with someone you love if you don't back down. Use some diplomacy to get your point across delicately. Listen, the person you're talking to today got to be handled with kid gloves. You know what I'm saying? You will feel tired and run down if you have allowed yourself to get into a financial mess. Now listen, when that money is a problem, everything is a problem. You just feel beat down, tired to the bone. That's all right. Think about starting your small side hustle and pick the pieces up. You can do it. You can do it, Sag. Capricorn, make sure that you take time to remember those you love. You may find that your family responsibilities are piling up. You are apt to meet someone special on your journey. Yeah. Listen. Life is short. Take time to remember the people you love, Capricorn, because they might not be there tomorrow. Let me tell you, life is short. I'm talking about real short. If you don't know, ask somebody. It's short. They probably can't answer because they're gone. Aquarius, concentrate on your career and on making money. So I got two themes: self-improvement and money making. That's the theme for today, I think. Yeah. Concentrate on your career and on making money. Don't back down, but don't ignite the situation. The advice you get today may be based on false information. Check your sources, Aquarius. Check your sources. There could be some false information coming through there. And my fellow fish Pisces, be precise in your communications to avoid any misunderstandings and arguments. Make the necessary changes that will enable you to advance financially. Rest and relaxation will be more favorable than you think. I know I could use a little bit of rest. I don't know about y'all, but I like that whole, make the necessary changes. I got some changes coming. Change is coming, baby. Listen, fish, make the changes. We need to get that money. You got to make the changes, though. You got to do the work. You got to make the changes. All right? All right, listen, that's all the horoscopes I got for today. Now, let's get on to my guest. My guest today is, I'll be back on Monday, y'all. Today Thursday. Today is my Friday. Today is Thursday. I'll be back on Monday to bring you more of the horoscopes brought to you by Noted Astrologer. 10 a.m. come Monday morning. All right? Okay, cool. Anyway, last week, if you missed it last week, you missed an explosive episode with Miss LaShawn McCrary. She is an intuitive, an author, a life coach. She is the bomb, y'all. She helped me so much. She don't even know how much she helped me. I was talking about it yesterday to a friend. I was like, man, I had a breakthrough, like a real breakthrough. And it was kind of freaky. Because she said to me, your dad is going to come talk to you. And I'm telling y'all some of this personal, because it's personal a little bit. But my dad passed away in 2006. And we had some unresolved issues, and she said your dad is gonna come and talk to you when you're ready. And I was thinking, I told my husband, I said, yeah, I'm not ready yet. And I told my friend, like, yep, not ready to talk to him yet, not ready for him to come to me yet, because it was so funny. Because I'm all amazed about all the spiritual stuff, but sometimes it kind of freaks me out. And so I was like, yep, not ready for him to come yet, because I don't know how he's gonna come. I'm ready now. That was like the other day. I'm ready. But anyway. Without further ado, welcome to the show again, Miss LaShawn. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you today, Audrey?
I'm great. It's a beautiful day, so I'm good. And it's my Friday, so I'm great.
That makes it better.
that makes it better. So listen, we had a great show last week, and I've been bigging you up since last week, because the information you gave was phenomenal, and the breakthrough that I had this week working with you was phenomenal, and I thank you for that so much. Because it was something that I really needed, and I'm a multifaceted person, and it's almost like trying to suppress who you really are, and I'm just gonna embrace who I am. Hell, I ain't got much longer to be here. I'm up there, so I gotta go ahead and let all this stuff live outside of me right now. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I want to do. I don't care what nobody say or think. And so, thank you for that breakthrough.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure to help you on your journey, and to help anyone that comes to me as a client, to help them on their journey. One of the things that I had mentioned last week on the show, and I want to say it again today, is that my main platform is about helping women own their power. And you're doing just that. by you having that breakthrough. And, there were so many different things that we talked about during your consultation, but, just getting you to see yourself. It's amazing how in this world we're so focused on what other people think. And many times when we're not careful, we pick up our value from them. Our self-esteem goes up and down depending upon what other people think and what they feel. And, I'm really just trying to teach people all the time, you decide your value, you decide your worth, you decide your wants, your needs, your desires. Go inside yourself and make those decisions inside of you. And stop pulling so much from the outside world. There are a lot of great benefits to media and social media, but there's also a lot of, a huge downside to it. And so we need to be very careful and mindful, especially in this day and age, that we're not allowing the rest of the world to dictate how we feel about ourselves and how we show up in the world.
And that is huge. It is really huge. And it's so funny because I woke up this morning, I was talking to my husband, and when we met, he wanted to be an investor in a business. And I just had a flashback of how happy we were. Like, we're happy now, but we were really happy then because we were rolling together. We were working together because he was, he said he wanted to be an investor. He kind of tricked me. But we wound up getting married because we weren't married at the time. He was an investor, and I was having investment meetings, and the next thing I know, I had a ring. So he did kind of invest. He kind of invested a little bit.
He made the ultimate investment.
He did. But we were talking this morning about, one of these ventures that I had kind of mentioned and kind of put on the back burner. But after talking to you and working with you, I was like, you know what? I'm about to let this thing out. I'm about to let the goose go. And he was excited. For me, it was like, okay, I remember that time where we were working together, how happy we were, and all the things we were doing. We had like this thing in common, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that venture with him. But again, that's because of the breakthrough I had with you, and I really, really do appreciate that. That's why I would love to, for you to just first tell people what an intuitive is, because some people may not know what that is, and so I know, but for my audience who may be listening, who may not know what an intuitive is, what is that?
Well, the way that I define intuitive, I don't know that you'll find this exact definition in a dictionary, but as an intuitive, I am someone that just journeys inside myself. I go into and I tap into my highest self, which is also my connection to God, which is also my God self. And when I'm in that space, I'm able to hear certain things, I see certain things, I feel certain things. And so it's just me you hear women talk all the time about women's intuition. It's about my sense of knowing it and just using it to help other people.
Okay. So that gift that you have helped me. And so I want to talk, my topic is energy healing. How does that play in with energy healing?
Well, at the core of our being, we are all spiritual beings that are having human experiences. And I know we have been taught the exact opposite. So we first and foremost need to get back in that line of thinking that we are spiritual beings. And then the conversation becomes, well, what's a spiritual being? Because we can't necessarily with our naked eye see our spiritualness. And so this is where we realize that everything is energy, that it's all just energy. And there are some people that can actually see that. Most people cannot. At times I can see it, but I typically can feel or hear or sense or see, is how that shows up for me. And so when we recognize that everything is energy, every tree, every animal, every person, even the chairs, the tables, everything that we look at, everything that is in existence, that it's all energy, then we realize how connected we are to the world. And it's by understanding that and then allowing ourselves for the greatest and highest good, not just of ourselves, but for the greatest and highest good of all, we can tap into that and really serve mankind in a very loving and powerful way.
I used to work in a hospital. I worked in a hospital for 8.5 years. A lot of people don't know that because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. It's like I never did anything else. But I worked in a hospital for 8.5 years in Newark, New Jersey. It was called United Presbyterian Hospital over in Newark. And I remember one night I had to work on a cancer floor, and there was a woman there. She had face cancer, so her nose was gone. Her nose had been amputated, and I saw her, and it freaked me out and gave me a massive headache. And one of the nurses came to me and she said, rub your hands together, right? She said, rub your hands together. And I rubbed my hands together. She said, now she said, don't touch your head, but put it on the side of your head. Put each hand on the side of your head. And I said, okay. And I did that, and my headache went away. And I was like, I had no idea what that was, but my headache went away, and I was good for the rest of the night. So is that like energy healing?
Absolutely. It absolutely is. And so by you rubbing your hands together, what you did was you activated your own healing energy, not even recognizing what you were doing. And so by putting them on the side of your head, what it allowed it to do was go in and transmute the energy, okay? Because energy doesn't die, but it can change form. And so that was exactly what happened. You just used your own power to get rid of that headache, because every physical ailment that comes into our body is just a physical manifestation of something energetic. That's all it is, because our bodies, and actually, again, it's all still energy. It's just using the energy that we can't see to heal the issues that we can see and feel.
Yeah, because I know she told me that, and she didn't say what it was. She just said, and I remember sitting at my desk, and she walked up, and she said, what's the matter? I said, man, my head is like, because the lady they were taking her to x-ray, and so they rolled her past my desk, and when they rolled her past, I looked at her face, and her whole nose, everything was just going, it was just a hole, and I just instantly just got a headache, and she's like, just rub your hands together. And I did that, and my headache was gone. She never said what it was. She just came back later and said, how you feel? I was like, I feel great. Like, my headache is gone. And but I had never heard of energy. As a matter of fact, I had never heard of energy healing until probably in the last 5 years. Like, I started looking at The Secret when it first came out with the law of attraction, because I had just started getting into that stuff. And now I read a lot. I was listening to Vision the other night. I listened to Jay Shetty. I just listen to a lot of people because I'm on this personal development and a spiritual growth path right now. So I listen to a lot of great people, and so this whole energy healing, Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I love. Sometimes he get really technical though. I'll be like, I have no idea what he's saying today. Oh yeah, I love him. But sometimes he get way big when he started talking about epidemiology and blah blah. I'm like, okay, he done lost me right there. But I'm on this path. So for people who are listening and they're saying, you know what, my back hurts all the time. You know, my knees hurt all the time. You know, I have this joint pain in my shoulder. Can they heal themselves with energy healing of these ailments without medication?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me say, I'm not telling anyone to stop taking your medicine. So I have to throw that out
right,
there.
That disclaimer is out there.
I'm not telling anyone to do that. However, here's a couple of things that happen. And the example that you gave when you were working in the hospital is a perfect launching place for this conversation. Because a lot of times when someone suggests that you do something, sometimes the less you know, the better, because you don't doubt it. And because you didn't doubt it and you just listened to it, it was easy for the healing to take place in your body. But if you had stopped and said, well, what's that going to do? Blah, 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 all those questions would have caused doubt. And so it would not have worked out for you, because you would have adjusted the flow of the energy, okay? And so when a lot of people, again, because they need to know the science, and, you know, that's one of the things that I love about Dr. Joe Dispenza is because he does give you the scientific breakdown for some of the people that need that type of information. But realistically, all you really need to know and believe is that the power is within you. And so when you choose to look at your body, when you choose to have a healthy body, that is absolutely, you know, a possibility for you. because all things are possible. The problem is that most of us don't believe all things are possible, even though we may say it. We may have a T-shirt, a bumper sticker, and a lot of people like to say, oh, yeah, all things are possible, but I'm always going to have back pain, but I'm always going to have diabetes or high blood pressure. And so, according to our faith, be it unto us. So if that is your belief that you are always going to have pain in your body, whether it's neck, back, whatever, then you have to have that, because our thoughts in and of themselves are energetic. And so it's about shifting what we're thinking, what we're believing, so that we can actually bring that healing into our body. And so, to answer your question, can we? Yes, we absolutely can heal our bodies.
Years ago, when my mom had breast cancer years ago, and I had just got on this spiritual journey of learning all this stuff. She was diagnosed in 2010, and so they did a lumpectomy, and she was cool, and then she was good for like 2 years, and then it came back aggressively, and so they had to do like a mastectomy on the left side. But I said to her, listen, you have to read this book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And I bought her all of these books for her to read. I said, you have to read these things, and so you can heal, because I believe that you can heal yourself. And I had been watching Louise Hay videos when the AIDS epidemic was rampant, and how she was helping people get healed. And I was like, man, that is so cool. So to me, that came right at the right time for me, for my mom. It wasn't even for me, it was for her. But I got the information to share with her. But a lot of people don't believe it. They don't believe that you can heal yourself. There are people I know right now, right? And I'll give you a prime example. People could tell them they're sick, and they'll be sick. My uncle has a kidney problem, right? But we go to the nephrologist like faithfully every 3 months, and she gives him a great report every 3 months. Well, his insurance sent someone to do they come out to do the annual checkup or whatever. And they took his blood work, and the lady called him back. And so I happened to go upstairs one day, and he was talking to the insurance company. And she was like, yeah, you need to locate your family members and for a kidney transplant. I'm like, what? So I was like, who are you talking to? And he's like, I'm talking to the insurance company. And I was like, so let me talk to her. So I talked to her, and she's like, no, it's just my job to tell him his options. I said, he has a great doctor who has been working with him for 7 years. We just saw her. She never said anything about a kidney transplant. We're going to go see her again in a few months. We'll talk to her. But LaShawn, when I tell you that woman convinced him that he was dying on the phone, he had just gave up on life over a phone call. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
And I had
to.
You
know what?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's unfortunate, because that happens all the time. It happens all the time. When people go into doctor's offices and they get some type of a diagnosis, it's whatever the doctor says, that is what's going to happen. That is what's going to be. And it happens to people probably every single day across the globe, mm-hmm. where they're given this diagnosis, and and they don't look at anything else. And what's also is that, have you ever heard of what's called a nocebo?
No.
That's familiar to you? Okay.
I heard of a placebo, but not a nocebo.
Placebo, exactly. So a placebo is where they'll be doing tests with, let's say, a medicine. Mm-hmm. And some people will just get something like a sugar pill, but it's not the exact medication. And what they found is that when they tell people, if you take this, you're going to feel better in 3 days, that even the people that didn't take the actual medicine felt better in 3 days. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they believed that they were going to feel better. Well, there's also something that was brought to my attention by Deepak Chopra, and it's called a nocebo. Mm. And what that means is, let's say pancreatic cancer, very rare cancer, and they say that, so many, there's such a percentage, let's say 98% of the people that catch it, and these people actually die. Well, what the nocebo tells us is it doesn't matter how many people have died from that particular cancer. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. So when they come up with these statistics that a certain amount of people died, yes, that number may be true, that number of people have died from that cancer. However, when you get diagnosed with that same cancer, it doesn't have any bearing whatsoever on your condition. Mm-hmm. What matters for you is your mindset, your health, your eating habit, how your body is going to respond as a result of how you're thinking and feeling about your own disease. And I remember when I learned that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And I had to back it up and listen to it a couple times. And I was like, oh my gosh. So, people hear those numbers, only 2 in 10 people die, live from this disease, then people take that as to be the truth. And so then many people, unfortunately, put themselves in the number of the people that are only going to live for the next 3 to 6 months. So, it happened, with your uncle. My own personal testimony with this is I remember my grandmother years ago was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. And I remember having this conversation with my mother, and she said, well, you know what? Your grandmother has it. That means I'm going to have it, and you're going to have it. And Audrey, this is the first time in my life that I ever yelled at my mother. And I said, absolutely not. I do not receive that. Mm-hmm. I am not going to get it. And I suggest that you decide that you're not going to either. And that was my first conversation with my mother about healing and our power to heal. Mm-hmm. And my mother just kind of looked at me really like I was strange. And I remember because my mother actually declined from the disease much faster than my grandmother did.
Wow.
And everybody asked, why do you think that is? And I said, because my mother fully accepted it. When she found out my grandmother had it, she didn't have a doctor's appointment. Nobody said anything to her. She bought into it 100% that she was going to get it. She didn't leave any other option on the table. She was going to get it, and she got it. She got it.
Wow.
And so I knew how powerful that was. And so, when people have asked me, are you worried? No. I said, that was my grandmother's story. That was my mother's story. This is LaShawn's story. And my story is going to end completely different. Because I know better, so I'm going to do better. And that was my decision. Mm-hmm. And we have the power within us to make that choice, and these are some of the things that I want all women to know, because it's not just with physical ailments, and actually everybody to know. Women are my demographic, but this is the message. It is about us tapping into our power. Because when you understand how powerful you are, you move from your place of power, and you absolutely can heal your body. I don't care what disease you have. I don't care what the ailment is. You absolutely do have the power within you to heal it.
It's so funny. 2 things. The first thing is, so what I did was, because I knew it was all in his head. Like, I knew she had poisoned his mind, that he was going to have a kidney transplant and all these different things. And I was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do. This is what I said to him. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you some super greens, and you're going to drink it every morning. I'm going to order you some renal vitamins, and you're going to take those every morning. Seriously, LaShawn, Amazon is quick. The stuff came in 2 days. He started taking it on day 1. Like, soon as he said to my mother, I feel a lot better. Mm-hmm. He's like, I feel a lot better. And I knew it was in his mind. I knew I had to give him something, that he could feel like, okay, this is helping me. And I was like, we're gonna order you these super greens, and this is because he doesn't eat a lot. He doesn't eat a lot of anything. He doesn't eat a lot at all. So I said to him, but the doctor had already told him you got to eat more protein, which he don't eat. So these people told him the same thing, but the lady said, you have to eat more vegetables. And I said, you know what? We're gonna order the super greens, and you're gonna take this every day. Girl, he's like, oh, I feel so good. And when he missed a day, it's like, ooh, I feel bad. I didn't take my juice today. And I was like, yeah, I know. But to the pancreatic cancer, my daughter's great-grandmother has had pancreatic cancer for 15 years. She just turned 83 on the 17th of June. If you saw her, she looks 60, and she acts like she's 40.
And you know what? And that's great. And so it just goes to prove that it's possible. And you mentioned a book earlier, Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Mm-hmm. I suggest everybody get a copy of that book. I actually have the smaller handbook, which is called Heal Your Body, and it just has a list of not all, it's not an exhaustive list, but it's a pretty good list of, all of the major ailments that people have. And I use this book all the time because when I tell you that, anytime when I notice that there is something wrong with my body, the first thing I do is I go and grab this book. And when I realize what it's coming from, then I go in and I do the energy work to get rid of it. Because again, everything is formed from our thoughts. So, different people that have different thoughts about certain things, they begin to manifest within your body. Let me pick. I'm going to actually go through. I have the book in front of me right now. Let me do
the back.
I'm going to look for, where do you go? Back?
Yeah,
okay.
Do the back.
Let me see what I can find for your back. Okay, so, very good. Back represents your support of life. So lower back, this is for fear of money, financial support. So most people have lower back problems. It's typically related to their fear of, their finances, having a lack of money. Their middle back, they're stuck, feeling a lot of guilt. And, and kind of feeling like they need people to get off of their back. Their upper back, up around your shoulders in that area, it's lack of emotional support, feeling unloved or holding back love. So if you have, if you're feeling pain in those areas of your body, you would want to look at that. And, the book has affirmations, but one of the things that I do in addition to that, because a lot of times I don't even do the affirmations that are in a book, but what I do is I begin to go in and I deal with that. So let's say if I was having these lower back problems, which again is a fear of money, financial support, those type of things, I begin to go in and look at my financial situation and I would say, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to do better or differently so that I can begin to get rid of this fear? And it's amazing because by the time you begin to allow yourself to work through it, you're going to find that you're having less, pain in that area. And I will say, of course, what you're eating is very important and all of that because you do want to keep your body running and as healthy as possible. And in addition, you want to do this work because your emotions, they're going to show up in your body somehow, some way. So it's just very important, that we're looking at ourselves. And it's funny because I've gotten myself to the point where for anything, minor, whether it's a headache, because I know that headaches are you invalidating yourself. And so anytime that I get a headache, it's like, okay, why am I invalidating myself? What is it that's going on? What am I thinking about? Deal with it. And I will not take any, it's just like, no, heal yourself. You are not going to start doing this. You are a healer yourself. There is no way that you're going to be taking it. Now, of course, if, I get into a car accident or something major, yes, I am going to go to the hospital because at that point in time, you're just focused on the pain.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's very challenging, for me to do the work. But outside of trauma, get in there, and do the work yourself. Another one that would be interesting that I want to share with everyone is about, your blood pressure, because your blood represents the joy in your life. So if you're a person that has high blood pressure, that's some type of a long-standing emotional problem that has not been solved. And so whether it's you're angry at your parents, the way you were raised in childhood, a marriage, a business that went under, whatever it is, there's some type of a long-standing emotional issue. Deal with that issue and watch your blood pressure change. On the opposite end of that, if you have low blood, then that's kind of feeling lack. probably throughout your childhood, feeling defeated. Things don't work for you anyway. And so anytime, again, when you're having issues within your body, this is just a great manual for you to have. Go look it up, and I guarantee you, you're going to identify parts of your emotional issues that have manifested within your body.
Now,
and so deal with those issues, and you're going to watch these problems go away. Go ahead, Audrey.
I want to go back to the high blood pressure because, in the African American community, that's one of our major issues, high blood pressure. And so here's my question, though. So if that is the case, I don't even know if people realize they may be having a problem that they've been suppressing when it comes to the blood pressure, because I think pretty much everybody I know got high blood pressure. And so how do they even go about identifying? So now they know that this high blood pressure is related to something that they've been holding on to that has hurt them, right? But how do they go about finding that thing? Because I feel like now they're going to need to do more work. And so you're going to get the naysayers and the people that say, I don't believe that, it's because they eat too much salt. Eat too much salt, eat too much butter. But you're saying that's not the case. How do they even know how to start to go about finding out, what is my issue that's causing this problem?
Well, you just said it. They're going to have to do some work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They are. They're going to have to put in some time and effort and just look over your life. What are the things that you are sad about? What are the things that you are unhappy about? What are the things that you are so upset about that you refuse to even allow yourself to think about it? And, you answer those few questions, I guarantee you a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of people. Also, if you're holding on to unforgiveness, who is it in your life that you refuse to forgive? Oh, yeah. And so the problems are going to start rolling in. And yes, again, is salt a factor? Yes. But you have to realize it's all a part of it. And so we need to deal with it on the nutrition. We also need to be exercising and drinking plenty of water and getting lots of sleep. Yes, we need to do those things. But in addition to it, we need to make sure that we are dealing with the emotional part, because that's the part that's really going to bring it into your body. Because, there are a lot of people that have very high sodium in their diet, but for some reason that high blood pressure isn't showing up on their charts. Why is that? Why is it that one person can do it and the next person can't? Again, it's going to go to the bigger issue. It's going to go to the root of the issue, which is your emotional problems. And so it's by dealing with those that you're actually going to be able to get through it. And again, we talked about your thought process, throughout this whole show. A lot of people believe that they're supposed to be diabetic simply because they're African American. Well, my mother had it, my grandmother had it. Black people always have, high blood pressure and diabetes. That's what we do. If you have that strong of a belief system that at some point in time in life it's supposed to happen to you, that I guarantee you it's going to happen to you. It can't not happen, because you've already predestined it to happen in your life. Not because it was supposed to happen, but because you're willing it, you're allowing it to come into your life because of your belief system. And this is why when I said to you last week on the show, don't serve your beliefs if they don't serve you. Any belief that you have right now, if it is not serving you, stop serving that belief. Delete it, erase it, blow it up, whatever you have to do, but get rid of that belief system. This is bringing back to my mind years ago when I was working in this one office. I remember there was a guy that I was working with, and he always kind of had like this depressed demeanor, and he was a really cool guy when you could get him to spruce up. And I remember him telling me one day when I asked him, I was just like, you seem to be down a lot. What's going on with that? And I remember him saying, well, my life is almost over. And I was like, you're only in your 20s, right? Like, wow. Where is this coming from? And he says to me, well, all the men in my family get a particular cancer and they die in their early 30s. So it happened to everybody else. It's going to happen to me too. Wow. So, I'm really on borrowed time. And oh my gosh, how I wish I would have known back then what I know now. And I just remember, and I would love to know, like, to this day, did he make it somehow? Did he actually catch the cancer and die? I don't know. But it's just amazing how we have these beliefs in our heads. And probably, all the men, because again, they watch other men in their family catch this disease. And so then they believed in it so strongly that they ended up catching it. And all I'm saying to all of you is that it doesn't have to be so. So just be careful about your beliefs, because according to your faith, be it unto you. Your faith, not my faith, not your mama's faith, not anybody else's faith, but it's according to yours. What do you believe to be true about yourself? What do you believe to be true about your own natural power? Mm-hmm. Do you have any? Or are you just kind of fumbling through life? And most people think of it that way. Oh, I'm just kind of fumbling through. Sometimes things happen, sometimes they don't. No. Right. We live in this world, there's cause and effect. There's, we attract things because we are energy beings. We're all like magnets, and we are all attracting things to us every single day, every single moment of every single day.
Me and my mom
And so just look at the things that you're getting.
Yeah, my mom and I had this conversation about 2 weeks ago, and she got mad at me actually because we were talking about something. I forgot what it was. So when she had cancer, she had to go through chemo and then she went through radiation, and so it kind of damaged some of the nerves in her legs. So I'm a firm believer of you need to try to heal yourself. That's my thing. And so we were having a conversation about something, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like that when I get your age. She's like, oh, I just hope I'm around to see. But it was like she was, and I was like, listen, I'm not going to be like that. Like, I'm not claiming that I'm going to be that way. I'm not claiming that I'm going to be sick and bent. I'm not claiming that. So I hope you're around to see it too, and she got really mad at me about that. But I was like, I'm not claiming that.
I love it. Well, and understand what you're doing. Whenever one person steps into a power, when another person is wallowing in their weakness, it causes that other person to feel uncomfortable. It's like, how dare you choose to empower yourself? And even though she's not consciously thinking of it that way, but what she's saying is, this is the paradigm. This is the story. This is what happened. And this is how you have to be. When the truth is, other people do not have the ability to write our stories. Only we do. We're the writers, the directors, and the producers of our scripts, of our lives. And the only time when that changes is when we give the pen to someone else. And then we say, oh, well, mama said, and so then we write down mama's story instead of creating our own story or daddy's story. We need to create our own stories. And again, this is why my platform and everything that I do, from speaking on stages to doing the coaching to doing the intuitive services, is all about helping women tap into our power, because that's where our happiness lies. That's where our joy lies. That's where living our best life. Everybody likes to use that term. This is where it really is. And so, we need to have this fundamental understanding about ourselves. I remember years ago, I was reading through A Course in Miracles. It is a very thick book.
Yes, it is.
Volumes of them. And I didn't get all the way through because I was all excited, like, yes, I'm going to read A Course in Miracles. And I saw the book and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not feeling so miraculous right now. Because, I just wanted to kind of get it and dig in. And, I'll read a whole book within a few hours, maybe a weekend, depending on the book. And I realized that it wasn't that type of book. I wasn't going to be able to conquer it, quite in that way. So as I'm reading through the book, I realized that there was a reason why I had picked it up at that time, and I found, it was just flipping through the pages, and I found exactly what I needed to read. And what I read was that everyone can be healed, but everyone won't be. So everybody can be, but everybody won't be. And that this is something that's very important and that healers needed to understand, because a lot of times people will say, oh, well, how is it that you can heal one person and not heal the next person? Well, it's according to that person's faith. So the people that come to me and they're open about it and they're like, yes, I believe that you can help me, I believe that there's a possibility, then yes, things can happen for them. But for the other people that are just so, nah, well, the doctor said, and, my situation is never going to change. If that is their core belief and they refuse to shift from that position, then again, that's what has to be so. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter what I say or do or what any other healer says or does, it has to remain so. And so, we again, these are some things that we need to understand about ourselves if we're going to use this, this wonderful energy healing power that all of us have. And it's interesting because I told, many of the people that come to me, you don't even really need me to tell you these things. You can go inside yourself and get these exact same answers. But right now you believe more in my abilities than you do in your own. And that's all that is. They just believe more in mine. And now, of course, granted, there are some times when we get so, caught up in our own head that we need another person to kind of, confirm some things for us and to help make it clear because we're not in a clear space. Okay, fine. That's one thing. But when people begin to, when I can tell that there's someone that just wants to rely on my giftings or rely on another person's giftings, I'm always reminding them, you need to find your own power. You need to be able to hear for yourself or see for yourself. Whatever your gifts, however your gifts manifest, you need to be able to do those things for yourself so that you are always going on the right path. And so that anything that comes through me, it just resonates with you and it uplifts you and you're just like, okay, yes, I get it. I see that. I feel that. And, and for that extra boost, that extra confirmation, but it should never just be because I said it. It should never be because any healer, I don't care who the person is, not because they said it, but because you recognize it within yourself. And then you decide to tap into that power and move in a certain direction to leave a relationship, to stay in a relationship, to enter into a new relationship, to start a business, whatever that looks like for you. But you have to be the person that's guiding that. Because if not, you open yourself up to manipulation.
Now, is there a way, can you give us like maybe one or two steps to how to tap into that power? Because I think people are probably going to listen like, okay, that sounds great. I don't even know where to start. Like, is there like one or two things? Because we're about out of time, guys. I know this is I know this is a good one, y'all. I know. But can you give us one or two ways that people can tap into that power?
Well, the first thing that I would say is find some type of meditation and begin to listen to yourself. If you can get to that place where you can sit still for just a moment and sometimes just allow yourself to feel, go sit out in the sun, have the sun on your face and just allow yourself to be quiet and just feel. Some people say, well, I have too many thoughts running through my head. Well, then focus on your heartbeat. Look at a tree, focus on the beauty of a tree or a butterfly, but just allow yourself to just let go of the natural world, your phone, all of that for just a moment and just be present, and just start there, and I will say this because most people are already getting something, you're hearing something, you're feeling something, stop ignoring that. Especially when people say, oh yeah, I thought about that and then I did the complete opposite. That's another way that you do that. In addition to the meditation, start listening to your own internal guidance. Stop, usually when they say, your first thought is the best thought. Yeah, because that's your intuition speaking. So listen to that, not sometimes, but every time. And the more you get used to listening to yourself, the easier it becomes. And then things just begin to unfold. But they're not going to unfold if you're blocking the stuff that's already there, that's already second nature to you.
All right. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it right here. And I know she's going to come back again. Because this could go on and on. Or you can just call her. How can they contact you?
Yes, they can contact me through my website. That's LaShawnMcCrary.com. I'm going to spell that for you. It's LaShawn S as in Sam, HAW, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, CCRARY.com. So LaShawnMcCrary.com. My calendar is on my website, so you can just go ahead and, book your session for whenever you're ready.
And so I know we didn't get a chance to talk about this, so I know I got to have you back on. I want to go into chakras, but that's going to be on another episode because I know, I tell you, I've been on this spiritual journey, so I'm like all in it, y'all. I'm into the whole thing. I got my stones upstairs. I got so many stones. I got stones all over the house, like all these chakra stones. I got them in the bedroom. People buying them for gifts for me. I got them in my office. I carry the quartz in my purse. Like, I'm all in. I'm all in. But when we meet up again, LaShawn, I want you to come back and kind of help people understand what chakra healings are, and how they can use those to help them heal themselves as well. But I want to thank you so much for being my guest today. This, again, has been a great episode, and I'm sure, because I looked at my numbers, and I was like, oh, crap. I know people pissed off, like, what was the energy part of it last week, because the numbers were great. And so this awesome. Week, guys, you got the energy part, but we're going to bring her back again, and we're going to talk chakra healing. And thank you so much for being my guest today, and thank you so much for the transformation you helped me with my own life. And let me tell y'all something. She's not paying me to say this. I have, and you're going to see as this show move forward, and I'm just like, yep, this is one of the things that came out of my session with LaShawn, because this is what I want to do. So, and I'll talk about it as I roll them out, because I got a bunch of them. I got to get them out. I got to get them out my head. I got to get them out. They got to come out. They got to be born. You know what I'm saying? So, but thank you again. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's been my pleasure. And, we're going to be doing some future sessions and everything else. So thank you for allowing me and for choosing me to be the person that you welcome into your space. I don't take that lightly. So, again, just thank you very much.
And I got to thank Georgette for reminding me. So, Georgette, for you, those of you who don't know, Georgette is the producer of the show. She booked all the guests for the show. So, all the amazing people that you see and hear on this show, thank you to Georgette for doing that, because she is behind the scenes quietly doing this for me, because I have 9 million things, and now that I have been released from my mind prison, I'm probably going to have 9,000,001. So thank you, Georgette, for reminding me about LaShawn and bringing me all the rest of the guests that come on the show. So listen, guys, I'm going to go to my inspiration for the day. We're going to say goodbye to LaShawn. She's going to come back again to join us with more great information. But in the meantime, visit her website. Is there an email they can reach out to you too?
Yes, they can find me at info@LaShawnMcCrary.com. So that same spelling, it's just info@LaShawnMcCrary.com. And again, go to my website. It's the easiest way. There are forms there. It'll come directly to me.
Yep. Go to the website, guys. Thanks, LaShawn. You have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and holiday. I'll be back talking to you again soon. Georgette will be reaching back out to you soon and say, hey, we need to put you back on the calendar.
Awesome.
All right.
We'll do that.
All right,
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. I'm going to go to my last song, and I'm going to come back and give you my word of inspiration for the day, so stay tuned.
Everybody's been saying that you're up to no good. Everyone has been telling me that you got me hooked. You're playing it big time. You're feeding me lies. Everyone has been bugging me to sever the ties. But I would never, ever, ever would have believed them, no reason. Sometimes the truth is hard to see. But now the never, ever, ever seemed to be over. I saw her, so I'm happy I got freed. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. Should've known by your rap sheet that you weren't nice. But now I am telling you, I'm going to smile. But I would never, ever, ever would have believed them, no reason. Sometimes the truth is hard to see. But Now the never, ever, ever seemed to be over outside. So I'm happy I got freed. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. I guess that I was born beneath a very lucky star. And in a week or two, I won't remember who you are. Man down, he ran out of luck and now it's my time. Ain't no looking back, I'm on the right track. Here she goes. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. I won, got it done. Lucky, lucky, lucky me. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I won't let the door hit when I leave. I guess that I was born beneath a very lucky star. And in a week or two, I won't remember who you are. I guess that I was born beneath a very lucky star. And in a week or two, I won't remember who you are.
All right, welcome back, welcome back. So listen, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you really enjoyed that interview because I did, as I always do. Thank you again to Miss LaShawn McCrary for being my guest today. We got more guests coming next week, so make sure to stay tuned next Thursday for a guest. Listen, tune in every day, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. for the show, but my guests are always coming in on Thursday, so if you can't make Monday through Thursday, be sure to tune in on Thursdays for a live episode. If you missed the episode, you can always go back to goodmorninggwinnett.com and listen to past episodes there. So if you missed last week's episode, listen to that first and then listen to this episode, and we got more great guests coming for you. But before I go, I'm going to give you my word of inspiration for the day because it is the weekend. My weekend starts today. Here it is. I refuse to accept other people's ideas of happiness for me, as if there's one size fit all standard for happiness. Let me say that again. That was my breakthrough for this week, y'all. I refuse to accept other people's ideas of happiness for me, as if there's a one size fit all standard for happiness. Kanye West said that, and he was right. There is not a one size fit all for happiness. So, you know, when you put yourself inside of a box, you're stifling who you really are. I put myself inside of a box because I was worried about what people were going to say, what people were going to think about what I do, instead of just doing what I wanted to do. And it's so funny because I look at my daughter and she's quick to tell you, I'm going to do what I want to do. That's the millennial thing, I think. But don't put yourself inside a box because there is no one size fit all for happiness in life. There's no one size fit all for dreams. There's no one size fit all for your business. There's no one size fit all for sports and athletes and entertainment. There is no one size fit all. Be who you were meant to be. And I'm telling you, I believe in my heart that you're going to be a lot happier. That's all. That's what's important. Love and happiness, baby. That's what's important. Listen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for listening to this show, and thank you for sharing the show with your friends. When I see my numbers, I know you're listening. I thank you so much, and I appreciate you so much for doing that, and I love you so much for doing that. If you missed any episode of the show, be sure to go to goodmorninggwinnett.com and listen to past episodes there. Also, share the show with your friends and families. Follow me on Twitter at GM Gwinnett. Follow me on Facebook and join the Good Morning Gwinnett Facebook at Good Morning Gwinnett. And follow me on Instagram at Good Morning Gwinnett. Share the show with your friends. Go over to iTunes. Give it 5 stars. I need you to give me 5 stars. I need to be in the top podcast on Apple Podcasts. The only way for me to get there is to get 5 stars on these episodes that you really love. I appreciate that too. So listen, if you want to support the show, go to goodmorninggwinnett.com. Pick any way you choose. Buy some coffee, buy a book, buy a t-shirt, buy advertising. Whatever way you want to support the show. If you just want to send in a check, send me a PayPal link. Audrey at MissBoss.net. That's right. I appreciate you. Listen, it's the 4th of July weekend. I know you want to have some fun. Do that. Have some fun. Eat some ribs. Eat the baked beans. Eat the crab salad. That's what I'm having. So that's the menu. But be safe. Be safe. I want to say happy birthday to my good friend Jennifer Robinson. Her birthday is Sunday. She is going to be turning a big 40. I'm gonna do a drive-by. She said she's having a drive-by birthday celebration, so you can just drive by and wish her happy birthday. So I'm gonna drive by on Sunday to wish her happy birthday. But happy birthday, J Spice girl. I'll see you on Sunday. Listen, guys, y'all stay safe out there. I'll be back again on Monday at 10 a.m. God willing. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye now.
You've been listening to Good Morning Gwinnett. Make sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time to find out what's happening around Gwinnett. If you like this episode, subscribe now and share with your friends. To learn more about Noise Media Network, visit noisemedia.us.